What's going on, YouTube? I wanted to make another video, show you guys my swivel seat I had made for my 133X kayak. I pretty much just did what everyone else does. I just used some cutting boards. There wasn't a lot of real detailed videos on the net when I was looking into doing this, so I kind of come up with my own thing that I did here. It's just your standard, cutting boards. One on the top, one on the bottom, or whatever. But what I did in the middle was I took another cutting board and a big old hole saw, and I cut out a couple discs and then polished them up with some sandpaper, and I ran a bolt through the top down to the bottom here, and then put a lock washer and a nut on there and snugged her up real good, and it's working pretty good. The issue I'd run into originally was these bolts that I have in here. They were rubbing on each other because originally I only had one of these discs in here, and it was just a little bit too low. The clearance wasn't high enough, and due to this thing flexing the way it does, kind of see that, they were just close enough to catch on each other when you put your weight on it and try and swivel. So I ended up having to go back and put an extra disc in there. And I like the way it turned out because it made my seat sit just a little bit higher, which is nice. And now I got the clearance. And I was worried about the flex on it, just like maybe one day it would just go a little bit too far. So I went and I countersunk the hardware I got in the bottom. These are just like some Allen screws that I switched to. So they're nice and flush, but this isn't gonna catch it all anymore. I mean, I weigh about 150, 160 pounds. And I mean, it flexes a bit, but I mean, for, a medium-sized guy, it's not an issue at all. So bolted those on there. Then the other issue I ran into, put this back in its place, was this stupid jump drawer they got right here. And it doesn't fit this thing at all, in my opinion, very well. So when that thing is in place, for one, it's hitting you in the back of your legs, unless you're pushing it all the way back in there, and then it's not in there correctly. It's all loose and moving around. But when I would swivel, my battery plug back here would be getting snagged and smacked, So, I mean, really, all I did was when I put my battery box in here, I kind of just tuck this down, pull the wires downward so it doesn't allow it to stick straight up. It doesn't seem to be a problem anymore. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's just a real simple way to take an entry-level kayak and, have more expensive features, I guess you could say, on it. Another thing I did real quick was I put a hole here and a hole here through, so if you wanted to lock this thing in place and make it not swivel, just stick a bolt through there and good to go. But I think I'm going to go back and spray paint it black and make it look a little more clean, but other than that, I'm happy with her. Let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe. I appreciate it. Late.